Hi everyone, Allen Rolleri from Hotec Design here, and I'm really excited because joining me today is Diane Cudworth, Senior Project Manager for Canoe Hospitality, tailored procurement services with over $2 billion in FF&E and OS&E spent to date. Diane, welcome.
Thank you.
So that is a pretty impressive stat, to over $2 billion. So tell me a little bit about Canoe Hospitality and what sets you apart to have such an amazing stat right there on your website.
Well, Canoe Hospitality specializes in more complicated custom design projects, which some purchasing agents don't necessarily want to be involved in. I feel like our attention to detail and our flexibility set us apart from other procurement agents. And we have completed many custom hotels, resorts, and multifamily projects of various sizes. Many of our clients also come to us for their boutique properties, which some, again, do not want to be involved with because of the smaller scope.
Great, excellent. So, there's a lot of talk depending on region, who you talk to, segment of the industry, about projections for 25 and 26, right? So, how are you seeing hotel projects shape up, on your end? And, what are some of the positives and negatives of the current business environment that you're seeing?
Well, we found that unlike 2023 and 2024, we are seeing more requests for new construction in 2025. And it appears that these new construction projects are moving forward, which is a good sign. The mix of renovations versus new construction still tilts towards renovations. And the new construction uptick is exciting. Tariffs are obviously on the mind of most clients, but many are well prepared as they went through this in 2017 and 18. Also, as manufacturing localities have evolved the past 5 years, we're well prepared with alternative factories and fabricators outside of China, although China pricing, even with the new tariffs, is still comparatively favorable.
Excellent. So I like that. That sounds like all positive information, which is great for our industry. Through the years, so I've been in the industry 20 plus years, and a topic that always comes up when I talk to the ownership side or the brand side and the designer side and procurement, and the supplier side is that, when doing a project, sometimes communication isn't as good, as it can be or it should be, and ultimately that winds up costing time and money, two things that owners really just do not want to spend extra. Right? They want to get that property up and running as soon as possible for as little as they can. So talk to me a little bit, in your role, as a purchasing firm, sort of the importance of communication and really how Canoe Hospitality handles that in a project.
Well, Canoe tries to approach every project collaboratively. I know a lot of people talk about collaboration, but we truly do mean and love the collaborative experience. So we typically involve the interior design team as well as the client. We want to all be on the same page, whether it's regarding timelines or manufacturer selections, any any unclear information. It just helps everyone stay informed, and we want to communicate open items, the budget, and the schedule. Canoe prefers early involvement with the project team, and we like to hear about construction progress, discuss potential manufacturers with the designer and the owner, help with any budgeting questions, and help to keep the schedule milestones on target.
Excellent. So this year, you're attending Hotec Design, as a buyer, and we're so happy to have you. Can you offer some advice to our suppliers that have 20 minutes to sit down and talk to you? Ultimately, they're there to hopefully get their product, in your next project or your next five projects. So, what advice would you give them in that 20 minutes when they're sitting across from you, how can they best use that time to hopefully get your business down the road?
Well, in general, I would like to say that I've loved the Hotec experience. I've been to Hotec before and had nothing but positive interactions with people. It was a very upbeat feel to the whole group, and just being able to focus one on one with manufacturers, I think helps everybody. It's a win win. I would say the things that I would like to hear about would be where are they manufacturing their product? If it's outside of the United States, are there tariff surcharges that they're passing along? And what are those percentages that they're passing along? We're hearing some vendors that are passing along only part of it and some passing along the full amount. I also like to hear about what they do best. What is their product specialty? What are some of their practices that they do best? Maybe the way they report information, anything like that. I also like to find out if they outsource any product, and if so, what are they outsourcing? Is it a large amount of what they do? Is it certain components? I also, for our client's sake, would like to know if the product is suitable for hotel guest room use or if it's better for light traffic areas. Since Canoe does a lot of custom projects, we would like to know what kind of custom work they have done and what they do best. Also, what is their typical timeline from when they receive an order to when they ship? And lastly, I would say how they've approached various engineering challenges with custom product requests and what did they learn from it.
Oh, okay. So good. Very, very specific, helpful information for our suppliers. So I'm curious from a procurement standpoint, if you've seen the demand for sustainable product go up, and where are we with pricing? I know early on it was actually more expensive to source, sustainable products. Is that sort of leveling out at this point?
Unfortunately, I have not heard of any recent requests for sustainable product and believe it has actually decreased. Many years ago, I was trained on LEED certification criteria, but it ended up that most of the FF&E projects that I did were not impacted by LEED or green requirements. Seemed like it was a lot of plumbing and structural things that we don't get involved with. However, it is encouraging to hear that quite a few manufacturers are telling us about their investments in lower environmental impact manufacturing processes, such as recycling and reuse of water, materials, attention to the type of wood and the type of finishing that they do. So it's great to hear that the demand is starting to increase. I believe, from what I've seen, um, that products that are often causing the highest budget impact are going to be the textiles, the wall coverings, and the upholstery. And from what I've seen, the cost for those items are not more expensive if you know who to source with.
Got it. Excellent. Well, Diane, thank you so much for your insights today. We truly appreciate it. And we look forward to seeing you at Hotec Design in June.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.